We've got a mic, just what we need. I've got a big booming voice, don't really need a mic, but anyway. First of all, thank you very much. Can you hear me? Oh, so it's kind of there. Oh, here. Is that better? Yeah. Okay, hope you didn't start my 5 minutes yet. First of all, thank you very much. Thank you, Jill, for the invitation. Thank you all for coming out and being interested in our country. We're in a really bad place at the moment, I think, as a nation, and where we're going to head, which direction we're going to head, is going to impact on all of us. I'd like to start by acknowledging the Indigenous custodians of the land on which we're meeting tonight, and pay my respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. Look, I've got a background in business, so I used to run national companies and state-based companies. So I get this one-trick pony thing. So I'm going to address that straight up. These were very senior roles across those companies. Then I was having a baby, so I took a couple of years off, and I got involved in a community campaign which brought down the Goss Labor government. It was a toll road, and I learned. This was all a learning curve. This is the universe lining me up. So business, community campaigning, that teaches me about what makes people tick and introduces me to social, to the needs of society. I was just so focused on making money, I didn't really have a lot of time for social issues, and I'm not proud of that, but that's a fact. And then I got involved in politics after we won that. Senator Cheryl Curnow, who was the leader of the Australian Democrats, asked me to come and work for her. I did, and I did that because they were keeping honest. Keeping people honest, but also you had a conscience vote on every issue in the party, and I will never say yes when I mean no, or no when I mean yes. So that was very important to me. And then our daughter disclosed that she was sexually assaulted. She was nearly 7. And so all of that experience, writing speeches, media, all of the contacts that I'd had, the experience in Parliament, federal and state, all came to bear, and I just stopped everything, and my husband and I started an organisation called Bravehearts because there was nothing in this country at that time that dealt with this issue. No counselling for kids, and nothing for parents either. So that's my background. Thank you. Look, and over those 30 years, I suppose, that sort of spans about 30 years, I've picked up experience across a whole raft of things. So I don't come to this as a one-trick pony. Not forgetting, when we started Bravehearts, talking about child sexual assault was like walking into a cockroach-infested room in the middle of the night and flicking the switch on. Everybody just scattered. No one wanted to hear about this, and yet it affects 1 in 5 of our children today, before 15. One child every 9 minutes. That's why I'm running. You want to know why I'm running? That's why I'm running. That's my main deal for running. Because someone has to stand in that House, has to stand in that Senate and fight for our kids, because God knows the people that are in there now are not doing it. I'm telling you, I've sat with the Prime Minister, and I've sat with the Attorney General, and I've sat with the opposition and all sides of this place. And they all give you the platitudes, but none of them get up there and thump the table and demand a Royal Commission. And I know every man and his dog wants a Royal Commission, but this is the only legal instrument capable of dealing with this issue, because it's the only legal instrument that is able to deal with the Constitution and the jurisdictional issues and all the rest of it. It's the only way to fix it. If you're reading the papers, there's nobody that's arguing that this thing is that it works. It's a mess, and it's killing our children. It's tearing families apart. Women, men dying. And we're worrying about all kinds of other things that don't even make the grade. If we don't care about our children, then who are we? If we don't want to fight for our children, if our children aren't the most important people in our lives, then who are we? So that's why I'm running, and I intend to keep running. And I'm not on the side of fathers or mothers. I'm on the side of children. I get hammered by men's rights groups and women nutter groups. I get them all, right? But this is about children. I am only focused on the best interest of children. And yes, I'm interested also in what goes on. There's a lot of misery and a lot of domestic violence and a lot of all sorts of things going on that need to be addressed, and it's all part of this system. This family law system affects each and every one of us. It is costing us $10.4 or $11.4 billion a year. That's the conservative estimate, right? That's about $20,000 a minute. Just think of that. I've got 5 minutes, right? We've just spent $100,000. And the thing is, we don't need to. We can fix this. Political transparency is also very important to me. That's why I was a Democrat. 1 minute. I'm just letting you know. That's why I'm going to rush. Breathe. Really important that we don't sell our democracy. Really important that money doesn't get to buy one house or two houses, or you know, the whole shebang. It's really important that people understand that marketing works, advertising works, and not be sold by it. And I'm horrified at what's happening. You know, is it China? Is it NRA? Is it Clive Palmer? I mean, where's this money coming from that's just going to convince us all that they're telling us something we need to know? It's lies. Most of it is lies. These promises are going off into the wop, into the never, never. So I guess I just hope people think about how they're voting, and I hope they understand that when you vote for a person, which Jewel has said really, really well, look at their background, because what has happened before is a really good indicator about what's going to happen next. And with me, what happens next is integrity. Thank you.
Thank you.